I'm from, I work at Kidworth CV Primary School, but I'm part of the Discovery Schools Trust. So we're a school, mat of 13 schools, 15 actually now. We've had 2 schools just join us, which is great. But this programme isn't about that. It's very much about what schools are doing to help one another. So it's very much coming in, seeing what we're doing, taking away ideas, collaborating and sharing. So last year, it was a very different sort of approach. Last year was about, I suppose, a bit of a knee-jerk reaction. We were trying to really support people very quickly with the remote aspect of this. This year, it really is about what does blended learning look like? What does it look like back in the classroom? How can we really integrate this now? How can EdTech support our teaching and learning? How can we get to those 21st century teaching and learning models effectively? We're not saying that any of us, any of the demonstrator schools are doing this perfectly at all. What we're saying is, this is how we're doing it. Please come along and take some ideas. We're happy to share policies, strategies, resources with you. You can see here, this is a vision that we've kind of come up with, but you know, you can take bits and pieces from this, but the idea is that we are trying to bring in the fact that we want to really change children's mindsets and teach about collaboration and communication and problem solving, critical thinking, social efficacy alongside tech. It's not about the tech, it's still about great teaching and learning. It is, you know, that is still at the forefront of this whole approach. So, you know, please don't think that we're using tech absolutely every single day. It's very much a model of about 25% tech, 75% still traditional learning. So this, I put this image in just to really sort of, you know, this is probably what we all were doing during that remote time. We were trying to teach the children the best we could, either in school or out of school here. You know, we're using tablets and whiteboards where we could. But so moving away from that just slightly, I just wanted to introduce our team. This is myself. I'm the digital curriculum lead professional and EdTech demonstrator, as I've said, but there's other three other people in our team. I couldn't do it without them. So we've got Nathan, Adam and Lauren here. And these are the people that you would also have access to as well. If you joined the programme, they would also communicate with you and try to help you. You could have some tech advice, you can have some online safety advice, and also you know, access Lauren for EYFS and Key Stage 1, you know, sort of support as well. This is more on a primary level. If you're coming at this from a secondary level, then there are schools within the programme that are
Jo, I think that you have accidentally muted yourself. I was trying to work out what the problem was, and I think I've now problem solved the situation with my very limited skills.
I'm back. Sorry, yes. Can you hear me now? Apologies.
Yes, I don't know if you need to reshare your screen. I think something must have reset.
Let me have another go, sorry. Let me see if I can come back in. Yes, I can see it, but let's go back to that full screen and reshare. Sorry about that.
No, I don't know what's happening. I think it just looks like something's reset. There we go. Perfect. Thank you.
There we go. Yeah. So hopefully you heard that last slide. There is a very quick clip here. This is one of our school. This is Kidworth, our main, the EdTech Demonstrator school, the head teacher and deputy talking about their approach to this, and you know, coming at it from that blended approach now within school. So have we got time to show that, or would you prefer it if I didn't? Do you want to whiz through the slides and see if there's time at the end?
Yeah, that might be quite good in case colleagues have got a question. That would be really useful, I think.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll come back to that. That's not a problem. Let's just move on. So I just wanted to put in sort of the, you know, what's going on in the school in terms of it. I think it's to reassure people that it's nothing really whizzy or really kind of scary. It's very much what you're used to seeing, but it's just enhanced by tech. Here you can see one of our teachers using a Surface book, and yes, they've got an interactive whiteboard, but they're using the Surface book as well in a way so they can model, and children can see them modelling actually on a touchscreen device. And then the teacher there getting the child to come out and show how they're modelling it, and then getting the child to be the teacher with the Surface book there. So just some different ways of how we've integrated technology here. I don't think my screen's very happy this evening, is it? Apologies. It's doing some very strange things here. So I'm going to see if I can go back and show you that last slide. So our support is about personalising it and being very bespoke to your setting and what you would like. As I say, it can be very quick support. It could just be a few hours. It could be a few weeks. It could be the rest of the year if you want it to be. Very much what you want. When you join, then you will be you'll go onto the website, you'll be put in touch with either myself or another demonstrator school of your choice. And then they'll probably just ask you to fill in a diagnostic tool. It's very much to help you to see where you're at the moment with your EdTech journey. There's no judgment on that. And then at the end of the programme, you can then review yourself again to see how the support has helped. And there's also an EdTech community that you can also access as well. Again, that can be useful because you can share ideas on that community area. Really nice to see that.
Jo, am I right in saying that this is obviously fully funded support through the current programme offer? So if there was an identification that there was, I don't know, 4 weeks worth of support to implement a device in a school, that this is funded, or are there any potential costs? I can imagine that's a question that's in the school's minds at the moment.
There's no cost to it at all from our end. So you literally link with us as a school and we support you as best we can with that. If we can't support you, then we will go back to the programme and ask them to put you in touch with another school that can do that support. All of it's free. There is no charge at all. It's fully funded by the DFE, and that's where the DFE link comes in. So the DFE put this out there. So because I always think you get the best, not the best necessarily the best advice, I think the best ideas from teacher to teacher. That's that kind of support, and I think they feel the same. That school to school approach is more what's the word? I suppose reassuring in a way, because we're often in the same boat, but we don't realise it. So once you start to talk to us as EdTech schools, you'll realise that we've either been there and done it and got it wrong, and then we found out the best way to do it. So it's very approachable. That's what I'm trying to say, I think, in a very roundabout way. It's not about, you'll see some of these images on the board, it's not about saying that we have, as I say, a perfect model at all with this. We're still on our own journey with this whole EdTech journey as well. But these are just showing you some of the things that we are doing. So here we've got some children using Tapestry in a small group, and they're using Tapestry in terms of the child account. They take some pictures of their work, they put a little reflection about it, and then parents can see that at home as well. So it's kind of, bringing in and helping parents to see what the children are doing in their lessons in the classroom, and parents really have loved that, really appreciated it, and the children enjoy it as well. This is the other offer that we can help with, is sort of engaging with blended learning, so having that understanding of what actually blended learning is, and unravelling hopefully the mysteries behind that. And again, there's no mystery. It really is what we've always been doing. It's still about that quality first teaching, but with the tech integrated alongside it. We're happy to offer, at the moment, we're just setting some dates for some open days at Kibworth and some of our other schools in the Trust. So if you're interested in coming along to see what this looks like in a school setting, please feel free again to contact me after this or through the EdTech programme, and I can let you know about those dates so you can come into our school. And because there's nothing like actually seeing it live, face to face, and being able to ask those questions of the teachers and of the children and what they really think about this. We also have something called Digital Champions in school, so we make sure that the children are really engaged in this, and they become have that real understanding of what this digital approach is in our schools. And we also have made some of our staff blended learning champions, so that they are the people that promote and have that positive view of tech and are able to put it into their lessons creatively, but then cascade those ideas out to the rest of the staff. They're the ones that drive it in school and really promote it. So again, you could, if you came on one of our open days, you could come along and meet those members of staff and have a chat with them. Again, just some images of, this is me just showing that small group of how to use that tech. You know, again, don't feel it'll always be whole class structure. You might find that it works better in a small group to show children, show them those small steps of how to log on and how to use devices within your school setting. The other one is, you know, the angle of reducing teacher workload. And we're not saying that will be an instant, you know, instant thing, but we're just saying that, you know, when you persevere with it, you do get there, and teachers absolutely love the tech. I'm showing you a year 5 teacher here from Kibworth here, and she's using OneNote, and you'll see she's got her laptop here, a Surface Book that she uses, and she uses that to untether herself from the front of the classroom so she can wander around and work with groups but still model on the whiteboard at the front as well. So it's just another way of teaching there. But you know, it's as I say, it's all about sharing the knowledge that we've gained so far on our journey with this tech. So hopefully some of these images and some of this information is helpful, and you'll see that these photographs are showing you kind of those moments when we are using tech, but believe me, it doesn't always look like this. It is often a traditional classroom setting as well, but it's just showing you how it can be done with one-to-one devices too. So, but again, if you don't have one-to-one devices in your school, there are ways to use those devices very efficiently, so that you're teaching maybe with a station model and you are having groups with the device, but the other groups in the class are using workbooks, or they're doing a practical element within the lesson, within the classroom, and you're working with a group yourself at the front and using it that way. We can also help with you know, your long-term plan with this, looking at how you might use an implementation plan, action plans, how you might look at how you might start with looking even at as the basics of your infrastructure as well, going right back to that, and what you might need with your Wi-Fi and your broadband. As I say, Nathan's our IT expert, and he's more than happy to help you with that and talk you through that and where to start and what you need to do and how you can build that in, again, on a stepped process. It's not going to happen overnight, and no one's expecting that. I just wanted to pop this in because this sort of shows you also about the other areas of technology in terms of STEM, so 3D printers and microbits here you can see being used by some of the children, you know, and just kind of how you can integrate other areas of tech into your lessons, as well as the laptops and the tablets, and thinking about how you actually go about purchasing technologies too. How do you get around that? What other avenues are there to access? You know, are there any donation schemes out there or grants out there that you can use? Bring your own devices the best option, or is lease options a good way of funding the tech in your school and your context and getting it right for you? That's definitely what it's about. It's personalizing it for your school context. It's not about saying we do this and this is how you have to do it. It's very much, these are some ideas. What do you think might work? What won't? You know, and talking it through very much on that, sort of school to school premise, as it were. Also cyber risks and ransomware. Again, Nathan can talk you through on that aspect of EdTech. So again, just some images just so you can see. This is assessment going on here, so you can see how we're using it for assessment. We're using something called Socrative there in the class. The teachers are using it alongside the children. And then the inclusive element of tech too, that's been really powerful, and how you can bring that in for your SEND children and for your disadvantaged pupils. There's so many apps and platforms there that you can use now that just make a fantastic difference to those pupils' education, and those moments where you bring in the tech and they can access everything like everyone else in the classroom. It's a real wow moment, especially with things like immersive reader, and there's something else. If you're using Microsoft Teams at all, some of you might be using Google Classroom and they have similar things. We tend to use Microsoft Teams, and there's something they've brought out called Reading Progress. Again, another great tool, really inclusive and really supportive. I will try and whiz through these last slides here. I just want to show you how this teacher just kind of navigates his way around the classroom using his device. And you can see that the children here are using the device as a tool alongside their workbook. So it's not saying that you have to put the work always onto the digital device. It is about using it alongside. Last few slides coming up, I promise. So here, this is just showing you that we've created something called a blended learning pathway here, and we're happy to share this with you as well, so that each year group has a progression map of how they might implement and put apps and platforms into their school year. Again, you can reduce that or use it as it is, but we're happy to share that with you, and also talk to you about specialist teacher projects, tech solutions, you know, sort of, and leadership and creative change as well. So we're happy to talk about all of this in a very flexible and hopefully approachable way. And just wanted to sort of add in some images there of the younger children just enjoying the tech there. So if you are interested, you just literally go onto the EdTech Demonstrator website and it will take you to this initial page. You just click on the request support button and it will ask you to choose a school for you to join. It'd be great, you know, it'd be great if you want to join me at Kibworth, and I'm happy to support you. But if you are a Google school, then there are schools that run with Google as well. So feel free to obviously request support from whichever school you feel will meet your needs. And as I say, they're not all primary based. There are schools on there that are running from this at a college level and a secondary level. So it's you know, very much for everybody here. This is what the expression of interest looks like. So you literally just fill that in, your name, school, and why you want to join really. And then they will put you in touch with that school, and that demonstrator will contact you, and then you'll move forward that way, and you'll create your own agenda and how many hours of support you want and where you want to go with it. And finally, there's just a few slides there of some of the other schools across our trust and what they're using. And then this is the last one. We are also running some webinars as well. So if you want to go onto our Discovery Schools Trust website, you can access the webinars there. They are also on the EdTech community and on the EdTech Demonstrator website. And finally, I'll finish with that. And that is just a testimonial from one of the schools that work with us. And it's not just, it's about me, but I just like the way she says this is about showing its teaching profession at its best, because it's about sharing. And I think that's what's nice about this. It's